What's up, guys? This is Ryan, also known as Florida Gator News here. It's not really a Florida Gator video. Like I said, I'm going to have my prediction video for the USF game up tomorrow or the day after that. But I'm bored. I want to make a video. And so I'm going to give you my opinion on week 2 of college football, spreads and all that. Maybe help you guys out if you guys are in a pool as well. So yeah. My pool is a little different. The spreads are not always the same as the Vegas spreads. They're somewhat different sometimes. And, each winner in weekly wins $100. And then the person who wins overall after the year's over wins a quite big amount of money. So, anyway, here we are. First game, Thursday night, which is tomorrow night. Auburn at Mississippi State. The spread is 1.5. Auburn is favored in that one. Honestly, I do think Auburn's a great team with Cam Newton. Also, he went to Florida, kicked out for stealing laptops, I believe, or tires, whatever, one of the two. But I don't see Auburn actually winning this one. It is their no, it's their second game in the top 25. Mississippi State is a tough place and a very underrated place to play, and it's also a very underrated team. You all know Florida went there last year, only won 29-19. Of course, it was against our former offensive coordinator, Dan Mullen. He looked like he put a great defense up against us, and he did, as we could not score in the red zone. So this game's at 7:30, and that's why I'm going to go with Mississippi State, just due to the defensive power, and, Thursday night, on the road, pretty tough, especially when you are the favorite. Next is West Virginia at Marshall. The spread is 13.5. West Virginia is favored. This game is on Friday night at 7 o'clock. I do think West Virginia will cover here. There's no question. They won against Coastal Carolina last week, I believe 45-0, and Marshall got just beat by Ohio State, and I think it'll happen here with West Virginia. Even though they're at home, but West Virginia is just way more overpowering than Marshall, and that is that. 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time, Georgia at South Carolina. Two top 25 teams going at it. South Carolina is actually favored by 2.5. And this game's at noon. I'm going to go South Carolina here. I think South Carolina is a very good team. Their just inconsistency has led them to a bad season last year. I think they're going to work that out. And they put up a hell of a fight against Georgia when they were number 1 a couple of years ago. They only lost 7-3. And I think they're going to keep that up, but this time they're actually going to win. South Carolina is a very tough place to play. I've been there a couple times. It's not easy to play there. It is very loud, actually, for how, it seems kind of little compared to Florida, but it's actually pretty big. The fans there are rowdy, they're drunk, they're crazy, and I think that's going to give them definitely the advantage. South Carolina in that one. I'll probably make this a 2-part video. We're already at 3 minutes. Georgia Tech at Kansas, 12.5 point spread. Favored Georgia Tech. I'm picking Georgia Tech because Kansas lost to North Dakota State last weekend. Along with, that is the second time, or like 6th time, a 1A team has gone down to a AA team, and then it's happened again later on that day. As you all know, Jacksonville State beat Ole Miss, and that was an exciting game. Probably one of the most exciting we'll see in college football. Alright, San Jose State at Wisconsin. Wisconsin favored by 37.5. I don't think they're going to do that great. San Jose State does have someone on the offense. I know they played Alabama, but Alabama is a great defensive team. Wisconsin is a good defensive team, and there's no way Wisconsin could put up even 37, 38 points on the board. Pick San Jose State there. There's no way they're going to cover. South Florida at Florida. Florida's favored by 16.5. The game's at 12:21. The SEC Network or ESPN, whatever one of the two it will be on. As y'all know, USF has a great defense. Florida has a great defense. USF's offense is not good. I think Florida worked out the kinks with the snapping, and since they got dropped 8th in the AP poll, I don't think they're too happy about that, so they're going to try to fight themselves back their way up. I think go ahead and pick Florida on that one. And it's very rare for Urban Meyer to cover, but I think Florida's offense is slightly stronger than South Florida's defense, and I think our speed will catch up to their speed. Idaho at Nebraska. Nebraska favored by 28.5. Go ahead and take Nebraska. No doubt about that one. James Madison at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech coming off that really, really tough loss against Boise State. But Virginia Tech is definitely not out of it. They're still somewhat in title contention with one loss in a very weird, messed up conference as the ACC. Only 23.5-point favorites against James Madison. Go ahead and pick them. Here's a team you probably don't like to hear. Florida State at Oklahoma. That's probably the one of the top games of the week. Honestly, even though Oklahoma's a 9.5-point favorite, I'm going to pick Florida State. As a matter of fact, I think Florida State's going to win. Oklahoma did not show up against Utah State. And if they keep on playing that way against Florida State's high-powered offense, it's not going to work out. Pick Florida State, 9.5-point favorite. Oklahoma, there's no way they can cover that. Iowa State at Iowa, 14.5-point favorites. Iowa State's actually a really underrated team, but again, Ricky Stanzi and the Iowa defense is just strong, and they'll cover that 14.5 points. Next, Miami, Florida at Ohio State. This is the game of the week, in my opinion. Yes, there is Alabama, Penn State, but I do think these teams are slightly, higher powered. Miami's got a really high-powered offense. There's Ohio State. Miami not really known for their defense. Ohio State's a 9.5-point favorite. I'm not really sure to pick on this one here, but I do think I'm going to pick Ohio State. I hate both teams with a passion, but I am going to have to pick one of them. I pick Ohio State, 9.5-point favorites. It is a little tough decision, but I'll go with it. BYU at Air Force, only a 0.5-point favorite. BYU is. Go ahead and pick BYU. I know they're going to win. Well, I don't really know. The chances are really good that they're going to win. UNLV at Utah. UNLV is actually a better team than people suspect. Utah coming off that very exciting win against Pittsburgh, opening college football night, but there's no way they're going to win by 24. Go ahead and pick UNLV there. They went to a bowl game last year. They played Stanford. They did pretty good against... Oh, no, wait, that was Oklahoma. Never mind. So I'm going to go ahead and pick UNLV anyway. Arkansas...
It's 3 o'clock.
It's 3 o'clock. Sorry about that. Arkansas at Louisiana Monroe. Arkansas is favored by 35 points. Go ahead and pick them on that. LSU at Vanderbilt. They're only favored by 9.5 points. LSU speed is very good, but I am still going to have to go with them. My best friend's a huge Vanderbilt fan, and I think Vanderbilt's defense is really, really good. Their offense is quite horrific to see, and that's why I think LSU will win. I actually think they're going to shut out Vanderbilt and only win by like 20. They might even score 20. I don't know. Vanderbilt's defense is really good. What's our time? 8:45. All right. Oregon at Tennessee. This is another good game. Tennessee unranked, really good. Oregon, an 8th team, trying to prove themselves after losing Jeremiah Masoli. They are Oregon's favored by 13.5. Go ahead and pick Tennessee. I actually have a slightest thought that Tennessee is actually going to win this game after that strong game against Tennessee Tech. So watch out for their running game. Oregon's defense isn't the best, and I think Tennessee's defense is actually underrated, even though this is coming from a Florida fan. Alright guys, I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to pick up at part 2, and hopefully you guys really enjoyed this, and please go ahead, comment, rate, and subscribe, and hopefully the next video will be like similar and related videos. I'm out. Peace.